Hi everyone, very good afternoon to all of you. I hope you all are doing good. So, I welcome you everyone in this second class of SIDBI where we are going to talk about the schemes which are specifically related to and associated with the MSME sector. Okay, before I start with it, I just want a confirmation if I'm audible and visible to everyone here. I just need one confirmation from all of you. Am I audible and visible to everyone? As in when you people confirm me, I'll start the class, okay? But just confirm me if I'm audible and visible to everyone here. Whosoever have joined the class, please let me know. Anyone here who can please confirm if I'm audible and visible? Can someone please ensure? Otherwise, I have to go with this only. All right. So you people do not respond. Let me check by myself only. So all right. Now we are going to class. All right. So we are going to start with the schemes today, but we have 5 classes to complete that, and we have near to 30 kind of like schemes. We have like in numbers, we have 30, near to 30 schemes. We are going to cover that, but we, have 5 parts here. Like we will have 5 classes here, so we'll cover it, phase by phase. We'll cover it, every day. We'll see 5 to 6 kinds of schemes in everyday class, and we will cover it, but we'll ensure that the coverage of that is very comprehensive in manner. And along with that, I'll ask you questions at the last of the video that is just related to the exam, like the schemes which we are going to, discuss here. And I want you people to respond on that. I want you people to give answers on that. So that is the reason I ask you before before I start the class, that whosoever have joined the class, please let me know if I'm like just mention your name so that we can just interact in between each other, like with each other. So that was one of the reasons that I was asking you. But still, I'm just starting with the schemes here. So the first scheme, which is very important from your examination perspective, is this Prime Minister Employment Generation Program. Okay, this particular scheme, whenever I talk about this employment generation program, so we get to know from the scheme itself, from the name of the scheme itself, that this is one of the schemes which is very much capable of generating employment. है ना? This is one of the initiative which has been taken by the government of India in generating what? In generating employment, and specifically in those categories, specifically in those areas which are tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities, and rural areas specifically. So whatever initiative has been taken by the government of India, like this particular, if I specifically talk about this employment generation program, this is the initiative which has been taken by the government of India to generate employment in those areas. Again, I'm writing it and I write again and again, in those areas which are underserved and unserved. Okay. Underserved and unserved. I told you this thing yesterday also, like underserved areas are those areas which are having less of the resources. Okay, for example, if I talk about the rural areas, that is less connective with the, or that particular area is, is having less connectivity. So the government has to ensure that the government is providing maximum of the opportunities there, and MSME sector is the one which is helping to create those opportunities. So employment generation program is one of the like initiative which has been taken, which is very much able to generate employment opportunities in those areas which are having less of the resources. Now this underserved says less of the resources, unserved areas are those areas which are having no resources. Okay, is this thing clear to all of you? Are you people getting it? Are you people getting it, what I'm trying to deliver to all of you? देखो बेटा, I'll ask you again and again because this is my obligation and this is your obligation also to, fulfill it. Your obligation is to just mention your names in the comment section so that I can also get to know that who is the one who is sitting at their home and watching this, who is the one who is sitting at their home and who is in need of this particular video. I want interaction too. Okay, I cannot all time talk to the camera only. I just want people here so that I can do, I too can interact with them. So this is what I want. This is your obligation to mention your names here. And that is one of the reason I ask you again and again, so that even if the voice goes in between, there should be someone to tell me, right? That ma'am, your voice is not audible. I'm not able to get it. Like these are the things which I need here. Okay. Now, I have given you a basic introduction about it. Now, this is what is important. As and when I'll share the PDF with all of you, you will be able to access and you will be able to read it as well. Okay. Now, what is the information that is important from your examination perspective is the first one, that EGP. They can ask you about the full form as well. So this is this Pradhan Mantri, you can call it Prime Minister Employment Generation Program. Okay, this program, this initiative is very much capable to generate employment opportunities. This is that. Okay, along with that, this was there in 15th of August. This came in 15th of August 2008. And if I talk about the rest of the things here, so this credit linked scheme has been what? Has been merged. That was erstwhile, REGP and PMRY. Now, these are the two initiatives here. If I talk about this REGP, so this is nothing, but this is related to the regional one. So this is Regional Employment Guarantee Program. Okay, if you can call it Rural Guarantee Program also. And we have this Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana. So we have these two initiatives, consolidating what is made. Consolidating them is, has made this particular broader initiative, which is known as Employment Generation Program. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of it? So its purpose is to generate continuous and sustainable employment opportunity. This is one of the things which I've already told you. Okay. Now, this is there to understand the resources which has to be available in few of the sections of society. For example, I told you about the underserved one. I told you about the unserved areas also. So it picks up artisans, it picks up those individuals who are having a few of the skills with them. So it gives employment to them. Okay. Along with that, to facilitate the partnership of the financial institution for higher credit flow to micro sectors, what is needed here and how employment is provided to them. So basically, they pick up artisans, they recognize rural and the urban areas where the facility has to be employed. Like it recognizes those individuals who are unemployed, and how it is done by setting micro enterprises in these many areas. Okay, so what we learned here. So sabse pehle, this is important. Okay, there are high chances a question can be asked to you people from this part. They can ask you about the full form. This is important. They can ask you about the launch date. They can ask you about the erstwhile schemes. Okay. And along with that, they can also ask you how this employment opportunity is provided by implementing micro enterprises. Okay, this is what is important to take into consideration. Along with that, what is important is eligibility one. Okay, so remember what is the eligibility. So minimum age what is required here should be like they should be more than 18 years of age. So minimum age is 18 and we require those individuals who are above that. And along with that, the 12th standard has to be passed out for the projects which is above what? Which is above 10 lakh in manufacturing. Okay, now remember 10 lakh is there in manufacturing and 5 lakh is there in services. Now, why we are taking into consideration both of them? Because it consists of enterprises. I told you in my yesterday's class that whenever I talk about enterprises, it means that enterprises consist of both. Enterprises takes into consideration manufacturing, enterprises takes into consideration the services as well. Okay, so we have this allocation of budget, like we have this allocation with respect to the number of the budget, the number of the projects that has to be there. So the project has to be above 10 lakh in manufacturing specifically, and we have 5 lakh in services sector. Okay, so eligibility criteria becomes important here. Eligibility criteria becomes important here. This includes age. Okay, this includes the projects also, which says 5 lakh for what? This is for manufacturing. Okay, no, 5 lakh is for services, right? This is for services. 5 lakh is for services and 10 lakh is for manufacturing. This is what is important from an examination perspective. Okay, along with that, self-help groups and charitable trusts are there. Institutions registered under the Societies Act, Registration Act 1860 should be there. Production should be based on the cooperative society, and we have salient features which are related to it. So one of the features which is there, they can ask you about the nodal agency also. What is the nodal agency? So we have Khadi and Village Industries Commission. This is the nodal agency of Employment Guarantee Program. Are you able to understand it? Are you people with me? Are you understanding it? Please respond. Just respond, please. Are you able to understand it? Are you getting what I'm trying to deliver to all of you? Can someone please tell me? Are you able to understand? Have you understood the first initiative? I don't know that why you people do not respond, but this is very important. Remember that. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Now, watching the rest of the things. So the scheme is implemented by through KVIC, which is Khadi Village Industries Commission, and State UT Khadi, and VI this Khadi this Village Industries boards in rural areas, and through what this is through the district industry center, and this is also is important. Okay, now the ratio between that is divided. So we have for KVIC, that is this is Khadi Village Industries Commission, 30 is them, 30 is with them, and specifically if I talk about board, so ratio 30 is with them, and then if I talk about DIC, which is District Industry Center, so 40 is the ratio. So this is how the ratio is divided between them. No income ceiling is required for setting up the project. We have to ensure that it is always above than 10 lakh. Okay, and 10 lakh is specifically for manufacturing, and 5 lakh is specifically for the services sector. This is the minimum one. Okay, above, if I talk about the ceiling, so we have no ceiling here. We have a floor set which is 10 and 5. Okay, along with that, assistance is provided under this particular scheme. Existing units already availed any of the subsidy either are not eligible. So we have to ensure that any of the micro enterprises, if any of the micro enterprises wants to set up its enterprise in any of the rural areas, maybe any of the tier 2 and tier 3 cities, maybe, so they have to ensure that they are not enrolled in any of the other scheme. Okay, otherwise no facility will be provided to them. Also, along with that, any industry including coir based projects excluding those mentioned in the negative list, this is also included. Per capita investment should not exceed 1 lakh in plain areas and 1.50 lakh in hilly areas. This is also, from this part also the question can be asked. Maximum project cost for 25 lakh in manufacturing, and this is the services sector that we have, but now it has been changed. I'll tell you in the coming slides also. Now the objective of it, so I've already told you that we want to ensure that employment generation is there. Okay, employment generation is there. How the employment generation will be made? If micro enterprises are getting set up in the most of the regions, maybe tier 2, maybe tier 3, and maybe rural areas as well. Okay, how these will be set up? So the government say that we will provide you credit facility, but all you need to do is to start your business in these many areas. Okay, this is the benefit that it provides. Along with that, if I talk about the eligibility criteria, I've told you about this, how it is applicable. So any individual who's enrolled in it has to be above than 18 years. Okay, along with that, we have this credit link subsidy. I told you here only. Margin money subsidy ranges between, it ranges from 15 to 35% of the project cost up to 50 lakh in manufacturing and 20 lakh in services. Okay, this is the margin money subsidy which is provided. Along with that, the beneficiary belonging to special categories such as SC, ST, women, minority, ex-serviceman, transgender, aspiration district, northeastern region, the marginal subsidy is 35% in the rural areas and 25% in the urban area. So this varies here. Okay, this information will be provided to all of you. I'll ensure that I'm providing you raw data because there is a lot of underlining here. So every PDF that I'll provide you, that will be raw. Okay, that will be non-annotated. Now, if I talk about the detailed information, the own contribution of the beneficiary is 10% of the project cost in general category and 5% of the project cost in the special category here. Okay. Now, this is also important that if the application for loan is approved, bank sanction and the release of amount, or amount of 90 to 95% of the total project suitably for setting up the units by the beneficiary. This is important. And in order to have sustainability of the project set up under the scheme, support services will also be provided specifically for the backward and the forward linkages. Now here is another concept, okay, which is backward and forward linkages. Okay, now what is that? I am not sure if I told you in my yesterday's class. Backward and forward linkages ensure, for example, they've taken the example of the enterprises. I'll take an example of the dairy sector, maybe. Okay, that will, you will be able to relate more with yourself, like not with yourself, but it will be easy to relate. Okay, so if I talk about dairy sector, so tomorrow you wake up and just hear that there is surplus increase in the dairy sector. It means that the production that is going in the dairy sector has increased so much. So how it is going to help the industries which are further, how it is going to help the industries which are supporting this dairy sector, that is known as forward and backward linkages. For example, if there will be increase in the production in the dairy sector, if it increases, the profits gets increased, if the production is increased, so it means the fodder which is required for livestock, the material which is required for livestock, the health material which is required for livestock, the demand for it will also be increased. So that is what backward linkages. Okay, forward linkages is that if the production is getting increased, it means, if more of the milk production is getting increased, it is going to further help the most of the industries, maybe most of the companies which are associated with it, there will be increase in it. Along with that, they can go with the further products as well. Maybe they will launch one ice cream also, since there is increase in the production. So this is how forward linkage has to be created. So this also says that we are going to provide the support services in the form of forward and backward linkages by organizing events like workshop, training, and the other parts also. Government of India has introduced online processes for the flow of application and disbursement of the margin money directly to the financing branches. So this is one of the infrastructure kind of help that government is providing. Along with that, online applications is mandatory for those individuals who are in the e-portal. The application portal is mobile friendly. So again, this is a kind of infrastructure facility only specifically for micro enterprises. This is how the government is helping. Model project reports have been put up in this e-portal for the benefit of the potential beneficiaries. This is again one of the kind of infrastructure only. And to increase the registration, the government has undertaken measure like to adopt Udyog Aadhaar Memorandum, Udyam registration as well. And I told you in the yesterday's class also, Udyam is one of the platform which is providing them help, and we have this number as well, which is unique in nature. It gives its unique ID, like it gives unique ID to an individual. So if you enroll it, we'll get to know. Okay. Now this is an expansion of it. Second, loan for the upgradation of the existing employment guarantee program, MUDRA, या फिर you have this this regional employment guarantee program as well. Okay, now if I talk about it, so considering that you have already set up your program, okay, you've already set up your micro enterprises, maybe in the rural areas, tier 2, tier 3 city areas, but now we want to upgrade it. Okay, so as in when you decide to upgrade it, what kind of facilities will be provided to you? This is what we are going to discuss in this particular slide. So with an objective to upgrade it, and if you want to make it successful, so we have to ensure that what are the key benefits that will be provided. So maximum subsidy would be 15% of the project, 20% of this northeastern region and hilly states. The balance amount of the total project is provided by the bank as a as a term loan only. Now this is for those individuals. This application, the scheme application is available for those individuals who are already having their system set in the rural areas, in the other areas, underserved and unserved areas, but now they are in a manner that they want to upgrade it. Along with that, this is about the detailed information. So further expansion, upgradation of it for manufacturing from year 2018-2019 has been started. The maximum cost of the project under manufacturing upgradation is 1 crore and 25 lakh under the services and the trading sector. Okay. Along with that, if I talk about the subsidy, so maximum subsidy, which is going to be for 15% of the project cost, that includes 20% for the NER region, the hilly regions only, and 15 lakh. Okay, that is 15 lakh of the non-NER 20 lakh for NER, the balance amount of the total project shall be provided by the bank as a term loan only. So this is the bifurcation that is made here for the expansion part, like how help will be provided to them. Okay. Along with that, we have the other things also which are associated with it, which talks about the beneficiaries. Okay, so this is all similar to that only, like second loan should be additional, like it should lead to additional employment. This is one of the conditions which has been set. Along with that, Udyam registration under Udyam portal is beneficial. It is similar for, it was similar for the previous one also, it is similar here also. Now to submit the second application, the application has to be submitted under the second loan for upgradation, and that too the form as a this particular e-portal only, employment guarantee program e-portal, this application has to be provided there. And this particular the says the beneficiary can apply the same financing bank with a sanctioned loan for their unit, so they can apply and they can go to the same financing bank only. The units have been making profit for the last 3 years, so we have to ensure that if you are specifically targeting the upgradation, okay, if you're targeting the upgradation, what is important that you should be having profit from past 3 consecutive years. Okay, 3 years. ऐसा नहीं है कि if you are if on the first year you were making profit and second year was loss, and then for the next of the 2 years you're making profit, this thing not should be there. Consecutively you have to ensure that 3 years, for 3 years there is the profit that is there, and a question can be asked from this part also. Okay, all of the existing units financed under this particular whose marginal money claim has been adjusted and the first loan availed has been rapid in stimulated time for the eligibility to avail this particular benefit. This is nothing, but the rest of the information is important. Okay, now the next of the scheme that we have is credit guarantee scheme for micro and small enterprises. Is the first scheme clear to all of you? I have specifically marked the important parts as well. Is the first scheme clear to all of you? Did you get to know that how employment generation will be there in the rural areas and the underserved and the unserved areas, and what kind of help will be provided by the government of India? Did you get it? All right. So this is another kind of scheme that we have. This is specifically for micro and small enterprises only. But now if you see, in the previous one, we talked about the employment generation. Okay, so we got to know from the scheme itself that this is one of the initiative which was there, which will be able to employ more people, okay, and targeting the rural areas, underserved areas, unserved areas, tier 2, tier 3 cities, okay. And what we were seeing, what we saw in that the previous one, that the government say that there should be more generation of the micro enterprises specifically. Now here, this particular scheme says that the credit guarantee will be provided to you, but we are targeting two of the enterprises here. We're targeting micro as well as the small enterprises also. So here, credit guarantee facility will be provided to them. Okay. Now one of the important part which has to be understood by all of us, like what is important to understand here. This is credit guarantee. Okay. Now credit guarantee means that I am giving you guarantee here that credit will be provided to you. Now, what happens most of the time? For example, one is borrower, that is MSME, and another one is lender, that is bank. Okay. Now, sometimes what happens that since we are talking about micro and small enterprises, sometimes, or I would say most of the times, they're not able to pay, they are not able to return money on time. So the one who's the lender faces problem. Then third party comes in between, that is guarantee. Okay, that is the guarantor, you can call it the guarantee that has been given that by that particular third party person. The third party person say that I am taking guarantee of that, I'll pay you the full amount, and as and when this gets matured, I'll take from the borrower later. So one of the help which is provided here is the help which is provided by the government of India, and they say that I am the guarantee here. I'll ensure that timely payment of amount is given to the one who is, the one who has given you money, who's given money to the MSMEs also, and this is benefiting both of them. Okay, the trust is also built by the lender. Like if the payment, is done to the lender on time, so that will not, hesitate of giving money to MSME sector the next time maybe, because that particular lender knows that I have this guarantee, I have this third party person in between. Even if MSMEs are not able to repay me, that third party will take the guarantee and that third party will return me money. Okay, so that is one of the help which has provided by the government of India. And they say that I'll ensure the credit guarantee. So they say that this is a kind of situation where loan to the applicant is backed by a party without the need of any external collateral. Like the third party say that I'm not in need of any of the external, any of the extra collateral. I'm not in need of any of the extra, collateral, but all I have is the obligation on my shoulder that whatever amount you have taken, I'm going to return it. Okay, this is a kind of welfare thing which is specifically for MSME sector because we want it to grow. Since it is high potential, it is having high potential in terms of employment generation, in terms of contribution towards GDP, in contribution towards the other parts also. We want that they should be given help. Okay, so this is what has been done by them. And here the loan sanctioned by the member lending institution is backed by the scheme which provides a guarantee cover for a large portion of the loan amount. Under this particular initiative, both the existing micro and small enterprises, including manufacturing in this services enterprises, are eligible for the credit facility, and that is up to 5 crore. Okay, that is up to 5 crore. So the question can be asked from it. What are the benefits for it? So one of the greatest benefit is for specifically micro and the small enterprises only. Why? Because even if they're not able to repay the money back to the lender, so we have this particular initiative, third party in between, which says that I do not need any of the extra collateral, but I'll pay money, in behalf of you, and I'll ensure that the timely repayment of the money is made to the lender, and you need not to worry. You could just continue with your services, and as and when you will have, you just return that money to me. Okay, so they say that ceiling of the guarantee coverage raised from 200 lakh to 500 lakh, and guarantee fee has been reduced to diminish the overall cost of the borrowing to the MSME. Now we have the upgradation in it as well. That is what we are going to see in the coming slides. So we have this change in the amounts as well. Okay, microfinance institution as a this member lending institution, they are also now eligible. Concessions which are related to fees, and there is increase in the coverage to the SC and the STs category, like specific separate kind of help will be provided to them. And there is a reduction in the guarantee fee by 10%, and coverage has been extended. Okay, it extended to be increased to 85% to women. And we have the Z certification units also, and units in the aspirational districts as well. Annual guarantee fee has been revised, and fee has been reduced to what? It has been reduced as low as 0.3%. So this entire benefits is very, very important. From any part the question can be asked to you people. Now, if I talk about the broader objective, and if I talk about the key initiatives also, so how it is going to provide them help. So it is it wants to encourage first generation entrepreneurs to venture into the self-employment opportunities by facilitating credit guarantee support for collateral free. And we have to ensure that whosoever MSME, like not MSME but MSE, whosoever is not able to repay the loan, we ensure that we are providing them help. This is the particular facility which is provided. Now, what is the key benefit here? So credit guarantee is provided to them, and the loan that is up to 5 crore without any collateral and third party guarantee will be provided to them. What is the guarantee coverage? That ranges between 75 to 90%. Okay, now what is the applicability here? So all of the MSCs has to ensure that they are registered in the Udyam portal. This is one of the part here. Along with that, if I talk about the eligibility activity, so all of them has to be are eligible as per MSMED Act. We discussed it yesterday also, but in the coming classes we'll have full-fledged information about MSMED Act also. Although this doesn't come under the scheme, but we will talk about it separately, because there are high chances that a question can be asked from it. Okay, along with that, if I talk about the other part, if I talk about the detailed information, so already I have told you maximum of it. So the with the maximum guarantee, the ceiling is here, which is 5 crore, and they are eligible for the guarantee. Rest of the things I've already told you. Okay, along with that, this is the hybrid security which is provided. Now this particular paragraph, like this particular image, is important for all of us to know. This says that firstly I'm going to talk about the micro enterprises. So this includes the maximum extent of the guarantee coverage which is provided, which includes the guarantee of the credit facility which is there. And this includes that up to 5 lakh will be provided specifically. If the amount is up to 5 lakh, then 85% of the help will be provided. If it is above, then 5 lakh and up to 50 lakh. Okay, this is a ceiling set. Here the ceiling is 5 lakh. Here the ceiling is 50 lakh, but it is in between 5 lakh to 50 lakh. Then what kind of help will be provided? That is 75%. If it is more than 50 lakh but less than 5 crore, then 75% is provided to them. Now it includes, this amount specifically includes the micro enterprises only. Okay, now if I talk about the 75% one, so it includes micro enterprises. Along with that, those enterprises who are allocated in the northeastern region, those enterprises who are allocated in the UTs like Jammu and Kashmir and the UT of Ladakh as well. So including both of them, the 75% will be provided. Okay, but if I specifically talk about this limit, so it will be provided like 85 and 75% will be provided under the micro enterprises only, and there is a separate part for northeastern region, UTs of Jammu Kashmir and the Ladakh as well. Separate part is, or separate percentage is 80%. Okay, along with that, if I talk about women entrepreneurs, so considering all of them, 90% is the holistic coverage here. Along with that, if I talk about SC/ST communities, its certification, the PWD category also, so 85% of the facilities will be provided to them. Okay, along with that, if I talk about the other categories, so it includes 75% of the coverage. So this particular chart, this particular this chart which was made here, this is very, very important. Okay, this question can be asked from it, and you need to just understand it. Okay, along with that, this is the these are the recent amendments which have been done. Specifically, these are the recent changes which have been done. Now here we are going to talk about the ceiling part. Okay, so there is increase in the ceiling of credit guarantee from 5 crore to 10 crore specifically in this category. Okay, so they say that according to this, which was dated on 31st of March 2023, there was an increase in the ceiling here from 200 to 500 specifically for category 1, and further in line this is going to be there. Okay, if the slab, now there is increase in the other parts also. If I talk about it, so this was there in the budget speed 25-26, it has been decided to increase the ceiling of the credit coverage as well, right from 5 crore to 10 crore under the credit guarantee scheme. That is one for banks, applicable for the public sector banks, private banks, foreign banks, and the selected finance, these financial institutions as well, which includes the slab is, if the slab is above 5 crore but it is in between 8 crore, so the standard rate which is set is 1.10, and it is, if it is above then 8 crore and less than 10 crore, then the slab is 1.20. This is the recent amendment which was done. Okay, along with that, if I talk about the other one, so there is reduction in the annual fee guarantee. Okay, and these are the recent one here. Okay, so annual fee guarantee ensures that if the standard sets which have been revised, the annual guarantee fee, so if the limit is between 0 to 10 lakh, so standard rate annual guarantee fee is 0.37. If it is above then 10 lakh but in between 50 lakh, so we have guarantee of 0.55. Above 50 lakh but less than 1 crore, so it is 0.60. Above 1 crore but the limit is, the ceiling is 2 crore here, that includes 0.85. This is annual guarantee fee. And if it is above than 2 crore and less than 5 lakh, so it is 1. If it is above than 5 crore but less than 8 crore, it is 1.10. If it is above than 8 crore and less than 10 crore, so it is 1.20. Okay, so this is how changes in the annual guarantee fee has been made. Along with that, if I talk about the other recent amendments here, recent changes here, so this includes the special benefits which have been extended specifically for the transgender entrepreneurs are also extended here. Okay, which includes the credit guarantee support has been extended to the MLIs in with respect to setting up these micro and small enterprises which are set up by the transgender entrepreneurs. Okay, they shall be eligible for the concession here. What kind of concession and what amount of concession? So 10%, and specifically the standard rate of annual guarantee fee will be provided to them, and higher extent for the guarantee coverage is this 85%. This is how the help is provided to them. Along with that, if I talk about the other aspects, so that includes the women-led enterprises. Okay, so this is what specifically I've talked in the previous video also, and since it is the recent one, that is one of the reason I've taken it here. I already we already have covered it, but still just remember that if I specifically talk about the women entrepreneurs, so 90% of help is provided to them, so you need to remember that as well. Okay, along with that, if I talk about the other aspects, so this includes the special provision for informal micro enterprises is also provided to them, which includes that this is also applicable to them, those individuals who are registered on Udyam Assist portal, and the credit guarantee coverage here is what will be available. The credit facility that is up to 20 lakh will be provided to them. Along with that, if I talk about the standard annual guarantee for banks and co-lending one, that is up to 10 lakh, this shall be having 0.3 0.37% for the guarantee above 10 lakh, and up to 20 lakh would be having 0.451 specifically for the credit guarantee scheme 2. Okay. There will be creation of the primary security that is non-requisite for the obtaining guarantee, and for for the invocation of guarantee, initiation of the legal action is not required here. So this is how this particular help is provided to the informal one. Okay. Now we have next scheme. Is the previous scheme clear to all of you? Have you understood the scheme? Is the previous scheme clear to all of you? Have you understood it? All right. So another we have is micro and small enterprises cluster development program scheme. Okay. Now this is more associated with the cluster one. Okay. This is more associated with the cluster one. Now if I talk about the cluster, wait. Okay. So broadly, if I talk about the cluster one, cluster is that where the distance is practically, far away, as in not very far away. But if you talk about the distances, okay, one of the thing which is major here, that whatever, different enterprises are there, like we have different, sections here, which produces similar kind of product only. Okay. But when they are at a distance which is very practical in nature, like we do not have this thing that one of the enterprises, like one of the institutes, or one kind of this you call it setup only. One kind of setup is there in one state, another setup is there in the another state, and third setup is there in the another state. Okay, that is far beyond the reach as well. So we have to ensure that cluster ensure that the reach is practical in nature, as in that is approachable in nature, and we also have to ensure that everyone is producing the similar kind of product. For example, if I talk in if I take an example of maybe Punjab mein, there is a district which is Ludhiana. Okay, now Ludhiana is very much able, like it is very much capable, and it is rich in textiles one. So it's a kind of cluster based industry there. Why? Because the reach is very much practical in nature. We do not see that one of the setup is there in Ludhiana, another setup is there in Patiala, another setup is there in Bathinda, and the another one. We have to ensure, like it is ensure that every setup is just near to each other, and along with that everyone is producing similar kind of product. So even if, okay, when I talk about the importance of these clusters, so it reduces and it ensures the cost efficiency. Why? Because you need not to spend anything extra, but whatever services you're providing, that becomes very cost efficient, since you are in a area, since you are within the reach only, you are able to approach each other very easily, and the resource usage will also be very judicious in manner. So this is known as clusters here. Along with that, if I talk about another example, so Bangalore, okay, it is rich in IT one. So every services which is required, every setup which is there is near the reach only. Okay, only areas are differentiated here. Maybe one of the clusters, like maybe one of the setup will be there in Kormangla, another setup will be there in this Domalur, another setup will be there in Indranagar. Okay, maybe other parts also, but that is within the reach. So that is known as clusters here. Okay, now this particular initiative ensures that micro and small enterprises cluster development program. So this is specifically to give boost to our clusters, and this is providing the common facilities for them. Okay, so this is specifically to support sustainability and growth of MSEs. Now again, remember that here we are targeting two of the enterprises only, which is micro and small. This is by addressing common issues such as improvement in the technology, skills and aptitude, and then we have quality and market access, etc. We have to ensure that we are fulfilling their things. Okay, and if I talk about these improvements, if I talk about these issues, so they need resources. Okay, they need resources. But what if we provide them resources which is very near to each other? That will ensure the cluster based areas here. So to create upgrade infrastructure facilities in the new existing industrial areas and clusters of MSEs is what is the main focus here. Along with that, we also want to set up common facility centers just for testing, training, raw material depot, effluent this treatment, complementing production process. Now remember, here we are using the resources. Even if I talk about training, that is one of the resource. Raw material, resource, treatment, effluent treatment, resource, complementary production treatment, resource it is. Okay. And if it is cluster based, so there will be judicious use of the resources. That is what is going to be there. So we have to ensure that this is there. Okay. Along with that, if we are focusing towards that, so there will be promotion. If we are very cost efficient, so there will be promotion of green and sustainable manufacturing technology specifically for the clusters. What are the key benefits which are provided here? First is creation of the common facility center, which is very, very important. Okay, this is important. And just to ensure that this is plug and play facilities. Plug and play facilities as in that even when if you want to try it out, like you want to make it work. So as in when you started, that is getting started. Okay, like it doesn't need a lot of time in between. It doesn't need any extra coverage here. It doesn't need any extra mechanics here to be done there, so that it can get started. As in when you operate, as in when you want to operate it, as in when you started it, it is getting started. So that is what plug and play. As in when you plug it, this is getting played. So we want effectiveness here. Along with that, support for the infrastructure development projects will also be provided here. Scheme application ensure that existing entrepreneurs should be there and in the form of special purpose vehicles. Okay, what is the detailed information? So I've already told you that common facility center is allocated here, is provided to them. Creation of tangible assets such as common production processing centers, design centers, testing facilities include plug and play facility, and Government of India assistance. What is the assistance that is provided? Up to 80% of the maximum project cost of 30 crore is provided to them. Okay, and this is all based on to make their work go very easy in a manner. Okay, so remember, whenever I talk about this initiative, this is taking care of both. This is taking care of cost efficiency. Along with that, since it is based on plug and play method, so it is based on the effectiveness also. Okay, this is what we have to ensure. Along with that, if I talk about the other things which is provided here, that is infrastructure development. So development of land is provided here, roads, drainage, power distribution in new existing industrial areas, estates, flat rate factory complex, and Government of India assists the 70% of the maximum project, that is of 15 crore. This is the government help which is provided. Okay, the next scheme that we have is Safurti. Okay, Safurti means that scheme of fund for generation of traditional industries. Since we are talking about the traditional industry, so you can take into consideration any of the industry here. For example, khadi and village industry. For example, coir industries here. Okay. Now, if I talk about the traditional industries, why it is significant? Everyone knows here that that has been said by Mahatma Gandhi ji also, that if you want your nation to be developed, you have to ensure that your villages are developed. Okay, then only nation will be developed. And if I talk about the villages where they are where they are having expertise, they are having expertise in the artisanship, they are having expertise in the craftsmanship, they are having expertise in experimenting more, they are having the rich resources, and all we need to do is to utilize them. Okay, so since traditional industries are more in the khadi, are more in the villages area only, so we need to exploit them is not a bad word here, is not a negative word here. Exploit them as in that if you want it to work, you need to touch the resources, right? I've taken one example many a times. This is a more static in nature, this is more economy part, that we I always take into consideration two of the examples here. So we have South Africa and Japan. Okay, now Japan is one of the states, like this is one of the country which is having very less of resources if I compare it with the South Africa. Okay, South Africa is one of the state, like this is one of the nations which is having high resources, but South Africa is still very underdeveloped one, and Japan is a developed one. Now what is the difference? What exactly has been done by Japan which is not done by South Africa? This is just about the exploitation of the resources. Okay, Japan has done the exploitation of the resources so judiciously that it is able to generate development for it. It is now considered as a developed nation, and South Africa is one of the state, despite having much of the resources with it, it has not exploited it. Okay, so exploitation of the resources becomes very, very important, but along with that we have to ensure that this is very judicious in manner. Okay, so this is what we have that is related to the traditional industries. We have to ensure that this is a scheme which is providing fund to these traditional industries just for their regeneration. Okay, One recent example if I take, so we have khadi and village industry. Now since we've regenerated it, since we're focused towards it, since we're focused towards the traditional industry, that is khadi and village industry, we have ensured that khadi is no more limited towards our India, like towards our, like within the political borders only of India. It is now available, it is now reachable in the foreign countries also. It has turned, it has taken the global market. Why? Because it is representing the this particular wealth of our nation. Okay, this is representing the culture of our nation. This is representing the pride of our nation. This is representing the essence of our nation. That is one of the reasons that traditional industries is very much important. Now, considering that we did not need to set up large industries here specifically to upgrade them, specifically to regenerate them, and specifically to bring them into profit, even if there is a setup of micro and small enterprise and maybe medium enterprises, so we will be able to make it better. Okay, so that is one of the advantages specifically for those individuals also who's living in the rural areas and the villages areas, and for those individuals also who are the producers there. Okay, so it is helpful for both of them. Now, if I talk about the initiative which has been taken by it, so this is to recognize the traditional industries and artisans into collective by increasing the production and value addition to make the products more competitive in manner. I've taken an example of this village industry, like khadi and village industry. Now, what will happen here? If I'm able to decode, if I'm able to regenerate my khadi and village industry, okay, this is one of the example which I have taken. Now, what it will lead to and what kind of resources will be provided under it. If there is a regeneration of the industries here, so it means I am doing exploitation of the resources which I specifically told you. Okay, if I have set up one of the industries in villages area, it means I'm providing them resources. Okay, resources in terms of maybe financial help. Okay, maybe employment. There will be market access also, and there will be increase in the connectivity. Now remember, these many initiatives here, okay, these many resources will provide me opportunities, will provide me opportunity. For example, there will be employment generation for the people who are living in the rural areas. Okay, they will be like, there will be name, the name will be highlighted of that particular region. Maybe lot of investment will also be attracted. So this will provide me employment one, and investment will also be provided. Okay, along with that, then they can work towards the other parts also, that is the further investment, that is what is known as in economics the trickle down effect specifically. Okay, so traditional sectors artisans maybe provide sustainable employment, and what kind of benefits have been provided by the government of India. So government supports those industries who are having up to 2.5 crore to up to to 500 of artisans. The help has been provided to them, and rupees 5 crore for more than 500 of the artisans have been given. A production facility is set up for the latest machine, so we are using the technology also. Raw material support is provided. Soft intervention is also here, that is up to 25 lakh. Skill development is there, exposure visits are there, buyer seller meets are there. That is all the part of the market access only. Marketing connector is there, e-commerce help we are taking out, and design support is also provided to them. Now this scheme is applicable to those individuals who are associated, which is who are connected with the traditional industry. So it includes traditional industries in sectors such as handicraft, textiles, we have agro processing, bamboo, honey, coir, and khadi, etc. I given you an example of khadi, I gave you an example of coir. You can take into consideration the other examples also. Okay, now we have this detailed information about it. So artisans are constituted in the special vehicles, special purpose vehicle by implementing agency that includes states, center, and the NGOs also, who need to provide land in 10%. Okay, 10%, which includes 5% in NER, like northeastern region, J&K and hill areas of hard intervention. In the coming slides, I'll tell you about the hard intervention, soft intervention also. High chances a question can be asked on it. Okay, financial assistance up to 90% will be provided to them for hard intervention. Entire cost of soft intervention, technology, technical agency fee, and the implementing agency is given by the government of India. Who can apply here? So this is important. Non-government organization, NGOs, institutions of the central state government is important. Semi-government institute can also apply here. Field functionaries of center and the state government can also apply here. And along with that, how we can forget about the PRIs when we are focusing towards the very, very basic industries who are working at the grassroots level. Okay, now this is also very important here. So what is the implementation methodology? So web-based project management, identification of tentative list of clusters, engagement and appointment of that, approval of the scheme steering committee, prerequisite for the release of funds to nodal agency, release of funds to the implementing agency. This is just about the methodology. This is not important, but this is what is most important one. So we have the interventions here, okay, project interventions here, which is based on 3 of the types here. Okay, high chances a question can be asked from it. We have soft intervention, hard intervention, thematic intervention. Soft intervention includes general awareness, counseling, motivation, trust building, skill development, capacity, institution development, exposure visits, market promotion, and design and product development, participation in seminars, workshop, training programs, and technology, which is a very basic one. Okay, basic things like basic help comes under the category of the soft intervention. Then we have the hard intervention. Hard intervention includes the creation of facilities such as multiple facilities for product, this multiple products and packaging where needed. Common facility centers comes into it. Raw material banks comes into it. Upgradation of production infrastructure comes into it. Technology and tools upgradation, warehousing facility, training center, validation and processing center comes into it, which is just above then the general awareness, counseling, motivation, and the other parts here. Okay, then we have thematic intervention, which includes a cross-cutting thematic information. Okay, which includes the the sector level, including several clusters in the same sector with the emphasis on both domestic and international markets. These will primarily include brand building, promotion campaign, new media marketing, commerce initiatives, and the innovation. Now consider it as a just these steps only. For example, taking into consideration your example. So if you got a motivation from somewhere, like you heard that this is one of the officers which is doing very well, so that will come under the soft interventions. Okay, that is one of the motivation that you've got. Okay, along with that, if you start focusing, if you start research and development on it, if you start focusing towards it, that comes under the category of the hard intervention. You have taken one step ahead from the motivation one, and you have started working on it. Now when rigorously you are studying, your research and your research and development has gone on high levels, you're searching about everything, you're searching examples and doing everything, that becomes a part of the thematic one. Okay, so this is how I've tried to relate it with all of you. I hope you have understood it. Okay, next of the things that we have here is about the another part, which includes now we have this another initiative, which is ESDP. Okay, that is implemented by the Office of DCMSME, Directorate, of MSME. So this is the one which you have to remember here. Okay, now this Entrepreneurship and Skill Development Program. It means this is one of the initiative which is specifically focusing towards the entrepreneurship and skill development, so that we can include all of the resources in in those areas which are underserved and unserved again. Okay, if people will be if we enhance entrepreneurship, if I enhance the idea of enterprises, entrepreneurship in many of the countries, like in many of the areas, so of course resource generation will be there, opportunities will be created. If people are having skills, so that is the better part for me. So this is what is there. Okay, now what it includes, so we have objective to promote new enterprises, capacity building. Now remember, we are including 3 of them here. Okay, we are including micro, we are including macro, and we are including the micro, small, and medium. Okay, now it includes all of them, like it includes MSME sector complete. What are the key benefits that are provided? We just want to widen the base of the entrepreneurship. Okay, we want that entrepreneurship discipline is not just limited to the urban areas only, rather it is reaching out in the rural areas, it is reaching out in the underserved and the unserved areas, and it is reaching out to everywhere. Why? Because it is having high potential to generate more employment, it is having high potential to bring connectivity in any of the region, it is having high potential to contribute towards the development of that particular area, along with that contribution towards GDP also. So it includes the personal development, the area development, as well as the country's development also. So that is one of the reason I want to widen this particular area. Okay, now scheme applicability as per in the existing entrepreneurs is there, detailed information about it. So 1-day training program is conducted for the entrepreneurship, self-development awareness, self-employment awareness is provided, motivation to different sections of the society is given, including SC, ST, women and differently abled, ex-serviceman, BPL persons as a career option. Okay, so we are including those individuals. Now remember, we have one category which is known as NEET category. Okay, which is known as NEET category. Now NEET category are those individuals who are not in education, employment, and training. Okay. So basically, the government says that I am targeting NEET individuals only. Okay, maybe ex-serviceman, maybe those individuals who are not into it these many areas, and they are specifically in the rural areas only. Why? Because most of the people are done with their studies. Most of the people are not even in training, and most of the people are done, are there busy with their farm activities only. They are not employed as well. Okay, so we are targeting them. Entrepreneurship cum skilling development program is there. 6-week training program. It is conducted by Entrepreneurship and Skill Development. Training in agro-based products, hosiery, food and fruit processing industries, carpet weaving, mechanical, engineering workshop, and the other parts as well. Advanced ESDP will be provided. That is skill development. This program will be provided. The 1-week advanced ESDP program are conducted through IIMs, IITs, ICR, CSIR, BARC, and IASC, NIT, वगैरह. So, Agriculture University of Central and the state government, etc. Along with that, if I talk about the other objectives, so management development program, it is management development program means that this entire training is going to be a 1 week for management and the capacity building, as the name suggests. Okay, management development means I'm talking here about the management one and the development building also. Okay, to the existing employees, and the supervisory store in the industrial management, human resource management, marketing management, export management, documentation and procedure, materials management, financial, working capital management, information technology, digital marketing, quality management, QMS, and the other parts as well. Advanced MADP, that is 1 week advanced MDP training program that is conducted through state administrative training institutes and or other reputed institutes in this domain of central state governments, NITs, regional engineering colleges, and the other parts as well. Okay. All right, so that is it. The entire information about these many schemes. We have done 5 schemes here, and rest of the schemes will continue tomorrow. Tomorrow also we'll be having 5 to 6 schemes only. If having any doubt, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'm going to end the session. I hope that each and every scheme is understood to all of you. Now, okay, before we leave, let's ask you some questions. I have made ready with me. Wait, let me see. I'll ask you questions. J Jagrahari, I don't know. Jaya Jagrahari, what is your name? Okay, I'll to call you student only. Okay, will you answer it? Whatever question I'll ask you, will you answer it, please? Then only I'll ask you questions, okay? If you answer it, then only I'll ask you questions. Yes? Okay. Okay, let me find questions and I'll, ask you. Okay, so tell me that of course you'll find MCQ like options there, but I'm just asking you. CGTMCE. TMSE stands for what? This is a question. I think this doesn't require any, option here. Jay. Okay, I'll call you Jay. What is the correct answer of this? This is credit guarantee fund trust for micro and this small enterprise. Okay, this is also what we need to take into consideration. Okay, so you're done with it. Next question, maybe we can take. Wait. Okay. This is the question. What is the updated credit guarantee? Like, what is the updated guarantee coverage under credit guarantee fund trust for micro and small enterprises for loans to micro enterprises? Correct. So, loans up to 5 lakh, the benefit here is provided that is up to, to 85%. This is just to enhance some small enterprises in the areas, that is in the rural areas, in the other areas. Okay. So, we're done with the two questions. Let me find any another one which is relevant one here. Okay. Who is the initial contributors to this credit guarantee fund trust for micro and small enterprises corpus? Who is the one? Who are the initial contributors? Correct. So we have Government of India, beta. Government of India, but along with that, SIDBI as well. Okay. So just remember it. This is the correct answer to this question. Okay. Next question says that I less know about the courses here, so you need know, you need to ask the team here that what if you find, or what if you purchase super elite subscription, you need to ask from the team. Okay, now give me the correct answer of this. Under this initiative, what is the provision norms for banks on defaulted, on defaulted loans? Jay, do you know the correct answer of this? Okay, so this ensures that near to 25% exactly, 25% exactly is covered under it on those uncovered defaulted loans by the government of India. No, this is not 75. This is 25. Okay, so whatever uncovered loans are there on that too on the defaulted loans. So help is provided to them. Okay, so all right. अभी और questions तो है नहीं है. I'll just make it and I'll tell you. Okay. Okay, now you tell me that how many categories of intervention are incorporated under the Sufurti scheme? How many categories are incorporated under the Sufurti scheme? Categories under Sufurti. This is the question that I told you, right? और ये आता भी होगा. कितने हैं? 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. How many there are? Categories under Sufurti. Categories specifically of the interventions, okay? Three. Name them. One was soft. हाँ, 3 interventions. कौन कौन सी है? Soft, hard, and thematic. Okay, this is what is, you people have to understand. So this 3 is the correct one. Correct. So all right, I have these, I made these few questions only for today's class. Of course, we'll have separate classes also where we'll see the questions, and I thought that taking these simple questions will be will be easy for us to understand, and this people can answer it as well. Okay, so all right, thank you so much for joining the session, everybody. I request you to give feedback to this particular session. That is very important. And any doubt you can just ask me. Even if this class ends and still you feel having any doubt, you can join my Telegram channel also, which is Economy with Payal. So having any doubt, you can just join that, and anytime you can just ask your doubt there, and not like midnight in the midnight, but yes, like not at 2 p.m. 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. But yes, within a specific period of time, you can ask your doubts there. Okay, even on Saturdays and Sundays as well, because I just ensure that I remain available there. All right. So thank you so much for joining the session. Now I'll meet you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. Thank you.